With Jason Salas.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Now we have a new friend joining us in the studio and on Guam right now. Dante Sevin is an accomplished hip-hop choreographer, and he is on island courtesy of another friend of ours, Clare Calvo, and her colleagues over at Synergy Studio, teaching Guam about the art of hip-hop and of dance, and we are privileged to be joining both of my new friends. Well, Clare, a very, very old friend of mine.
Clare Calvo Smith.
Clare Calvo Smith, that's right. And the ratings just dropped right now. Well, you are married, and congratulations, and with child, so we're very happy for you.
Thank you.
All right, but Dante is our guest of honor. So tell us, what exactly got you into the art of dance and what developed the love of dance in your life, and specifically with hip-hop?
It started from Michael Jackson.
Okay.
That was the beginning of it all. And I was a very hyperactive kid. I first studied martial arts, and I played all sports, mainly football, soccer, and basketball were my forte. And after watching Michael Jackson, it was Thriller that got me. Mm-hmm. And I was so awestruck that I remember making a pledge that day. I said, I want to do to the world what he did to me. And from there, it kind of the seed planting started from there. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until later that I took a real interest in it. And so I guess I started dancing probably around 17. I took the real interest. But prior to that, martial arts, I studied boxing, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, Goju-Ryu, and Aikido Jiu-Jitsu. So with that training, I had a lot of discipline, a lot of focus, and a fast photographic memory. So when I transferred into dance, it wasn't a really tough transition once I knew what the formalities were in dance.
Now I find that remarkable because, you know, you take things like martial arts where, as you said, you know, it's very discipline oriented, and you rehearse, you know, some people do it for decades, you know, about specific movement and holding positions, and then you get something like dance, specifically like with hip hop, where it's a lot of expressionism, and, you know, like you're basically telling a story or you're reacting to the music and everything. So, you know, what parallels can you draw between your experience with, you know, both of those types of art?
Well, first of all, for me, hip hop was a culture that I lived. And then from there were aspects of the DJ, roboting, things that migrated into a form of dance. And I think Michael Jackson was the one who brought all those worlds together that we saw at first. He brought jazz together, he brought popping, he brought locking, then he brought his own style. And so I think from there, it opened up the avenue that if you weren't a trained dancer, and you did ballet or jazz, and if you weren't just totally street, his style put you right in between. You didn't have to have super flexibility, and his style also reinvented expression, free expression. So the hip-hop aspect to me is kind of a graduation of what has happened in my cultural life, and now I've been able to bring that to the stage.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Clare, as someone, you know, who grew up on Guam and kind of has the pulse of how dance matured here in its various forms over the years, you have a very outstanding resume. We'll get into Dante's momentarily. But, you know, you've been through ballet classes, and, you know, you in your professional training have done jazz and everything like that. What do you think he brings to the island right now, and, you know, as he joins your colleagues at Synergy? Like, what are you guys doing for the community?
Well, he brings, first of all, Guam has got amazing talent, dance. The kids, I say kids, but the young adults out there now they're doing incredible things. So I think by having someone like Dante back here gets everyone really even more motivated to take their talent, to take their gift to the next level. And because Dante will be discussing, it's going to be a workshop that he'll be choreographing and dancing, teaching a class, but there'll also be discourse and question and answer about living in LA and being a choreographer and the industry. So we hope to serve in a way where we could help those who are interested in taking dance to the next level, or even those who just want to have fun to come and express themselves in creative and wonderful ways. To come out and try his workshop.
Well, one thing that we Islanders really love here is when people can name drop, and we always appreciate that. And you know, Dante, yourself being LA based, and your own resume, as I alluded to a little while ago, you know, is pretty outstanding because you've worked with Missy Elliott, You've worked with Montel Jordan as well. Who are some of the other people that you can actually say you've worked with them, met with them, and created with them?
Missy Elliott, Tyrese, Justin Timberlake, Michael Jackson, just to name a few. But I also was privileged to do You Got Served and Stomp the Yard, 2 movies that I'm proud and humbled to be a part of. I feel like when I was growing up, it was Breakin' and Beat Street, and then for a long time, it was really nothing to reach the kids, and then we had You Got Served, and it kind of reopened the floodgates to the new generation, which I'm happy to be a part of history retouching the youth again.
Well, you and Claire and I are definitely in the same generation, because I loved Breakin' when I was a kid. I would not watch Breakin' 2 on principle just because I heard that's the one when Turbo broke his leg. So
yeah.
I would not watch that. But what are some of the things that you wish to pass along to people who come here and either they're just getting into dance, or they've maybe got a little bit of, like you said, they've got street training, if that's even possible, or they've done various forms, and they want to get into hip hop because they're motivated by what they see in music videos, and they see the ability to battle in a positive way and express themselves that way. What can you pass on to them?
I hope I can pass on knowledge and humbleness first, along with like explaining the essence of skill and how to maintain it, how to be okay with your mistakes. I think that's the first most important thing. All the people that are great in anything we watch, sports, singing, dance, they all have made some great mistakes to become great. And they were okay with that. And I think that's the difference between a superstar and a star who's at home who hasn't made it yet.
Okay, well, Claire, let's get the logistics out of the way real quick, because there's certainly a lot of people watching this right now, either on TV or online, that want to register. How can people sign up for this incredible event?
They can come to Synergy in Mighty and sign up. Tomorrow is Saturday, and it's the day of the workshop. So if they come to Synergy Mighty Studio between 8 a.m. and 12 noon, they could sign up there, and that way they would get their $25 discount, $75. And if they're not able to make that, they could just come maybe half an hour early to East Hagatna Synergy and just sign up before the class, and hopefully there's still room left, and of course it would be $100 if they waited to pay at the door.
All right, well, before we get out of here, and because a commercial break is upon us in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about a little bit about fitness and the fitness of being a professional dancer. And Claire, what you've done for the community is people are so grateful for what you've done about making people aware of how to take care of their body and what to eat and what not to eat, maybe more importantly. Dante, in your role, how do you see, how do you condition your body, and how do you train and make sure that, the various muscle groups and, that you're in tip-top form to be able to be a choreographer and then to go out there and perform at a very high level?
I learned my blood type. And once I learned my blood type, it was a lot better to kind of maintain a diet that if I did cheat, at least I knew what range I could cheat in and how that would apply to my body, because instinctually our blood type tells us what we're supposed to eat. And when I started following that, it's helped me for aging, it's helped me for stress, it's helped me for productivity, energy, all the above.
That's very interesting, because most people would just say, like get a little bit of the basic food groups, or don't go too overboard with anything else. But that's very, very clever. So
I did some experimenting and found that it really does work.
Well, that is food for thought, pun sort of intended. But thank you both. We can't wait to cover this more for you, and thank you what you're doing for the island community. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you, and half a day.
All right, very well done. And Clare Calvo Smith, make sure thank you for what you do for the island community. All right, you guys are very good friends, and welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, and stay tuned, because we will be back with more show when we return.
Time out with Jason Salas.